Good morning, everyone. This week we read about the splitting of the sea. And I don't know if you've ever imagined in your mind's eye what it looked like when the sea split. But I think for most people, they imagine it that the Jewish people came to the sea, the Egyptians were running after them. Suddenly, Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the entire sea split. And the Jewish people saw a direct path across and walked across, and then the Egyptians followed and were drowned in the sea. But Rabbi, one of the commentaries on the Torah, says that's not the way it happened. He quotes the verse in the book of Psalms that says the sea saw and it fled from the Jewish people. And he said, think about when someone is chasing someone and another person is fleeing from that person. Every step the pursuer takes, the one who is fleeing runs ahead. So too, Rabbeinu Bachya says that it's not that the Jewish people stepped into the sea and all of the water split directly across, but rather the Jewish people took one step into the sea and then the sea split one step further. They took the next step, it split further. And that's why it's called a tearing of the sea, like a paper that's being torn apart or something being torn. As the Jewish people emerged further and further into the sea, it split further and further. And I think there's a very important lesson here in life. There's sometimes in life we take one step forward in life, or we do one act. It may be a very bold act, like jumping into the sea, and suddenly the entire path forward is separated and cleared. All the obstacles fall away, and we can see a direct path all the way to the other side. All our problems are solved immediately, and we can see the entire path forward from beginning to end. But more likely in life than not in life, it doesn't work that way. It's not that one bold act tears. It's not that one action opens up an entire path, but rather step by step. We can't see the way across. We're not sure how we're going to get to the other side, but we can take one courageous step at a time. And every step we take forward, suddenly another part of the sea splits until ultimately we emerge successfully on the other side. Today is the 10th day of Shabbat. The 10th day of Shabbat is the day that the Lubavitcher Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson assumed the leadership of the Chabad movement 1 year after his father-in-law, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak Schneerson, died in 1950. In 1951, his son-in-law and successor took over the Chabad movement. And what was unique about the Rebbe was that he had this approach with spiritual matters as well. He said we don't always have to understand how a Jew will become completely connected to Torah and mitzvahs. All we have to do is focus on one mitzvah at a time. The Rebbe once told someone he asked him, what are you doing to influence your fellow Jews and teach them Torah? And the Jew said, well, I'm not that knowledgeable, I'm not that learned. And the Rebbe said, if you know the first two letters of the Hebrew alphabet, the Aleph and the Bet, and another Jew only knows the first letter, the Aleph, it's your responsibility to teach him the second letter, Bet. Someone else will come along and teach him Gimel and Dalet and Hey and all the further letters. You teach what you know. And the same thing with mitzvah. The Rebbe said, do one mitzvah. You don't have to understand how that will lead to another mitzvah and another mitzvah. But if you start with one good deed, take one step, the next step will emerge and the next path will open up before you. The Rebbe once repeated the following story at a Farbringen. He said that he got a notification that a girl in Israel from a secular Jewish home went to school and the teacher taught her about the importance of lighting Shabbat candles. The girl came home really excited with her own candlesticks and said, Ima, tonight we have to light the Shabbat candles. They were not a religious home, but their daughter wanted to light the candles, so they lit the candles. Then the father sat down on the couch after the Friday night candles were lit to watch TV, and the mother said, it's not respectful. The candles of Shabbat are burning. Wait till the candles burn out. So the father said, fine. And after the candles burnt out, he went to watch TV. The next week, when they lit the candles, the dad knew he can't watch TV while the candles are burning. And the mother said, we're already sitting around waiting. Why don't we make Kiddush and have challah while we wait for the candles to burn out? And then the next week, the mother said, why don't I make a Shabbos meal while we wait for the candles to burn? And then a couple of weeks later, they said, we're ready doing Shabbat dinner. Let's go to synagogue in the morning. And the Rebbe said how slowly but surely this entire family was transformed and became an observant Jewish family. And how did it begin? By one little girl lighting one little Shabbat candle. In life, we don't always see what the next steps will be. We don't see the entire path, but we have to take one step at a time, and bit by bit, the sea and all of the obstacles in our path will open up, and we will emerge on the other side successfully, and like the Jewish people, we'll sing a song of joy and jubilation. That is true in our personal lives, and that's true in the redemption of the entire world. Everyone must do their part, and one day we will witness the splitting of the sea as the era of redemption will come, which the Rabbi always yearned and strived towards. Have a wonderful day.